So here's 6 exercises that you're not doing to build superhero shoulders. The way that you get that physique, that superhero physique, you have the shoulders pumped and coming out. And again, these exercises, put them into your training. You're gonna spice it up and get you some gains that you haven't got. So this is gonna be a push press with an eccentric. So I love the eccentric, again, to stress the, I would say, the muscle tissue out, but I'm gonna use a box step up because a lot of times in a military press, people will arch the low back. So what I'm gonna do here is get underneath it. My one leg is gonna stay up. So now I can keep my low back out of it. I can push press and then keep 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm using this staggered position to not arch into my low back. Using 5-second eccentrics. I like these to be maybe 5, 6 reps, using a pretty heavy load because again, we can push press up and then control it down slowly, feeling everything in the shoulders. And this is a great exercise. I love the Cuban presses, but creating support now adds extra stability, which means we can create force. So I'm gonna drive back, punch it up, try to externally rotate. Using control. So I don't have to worry about that stability factor. Many a times you might have to go lower on that load, on that weight to feel it the right way. This is like a 12 to 15 rep type of range that I like to use with these. Again, using that control, controlling it back down so we really light up our shoulders in the back. Well, military presses are a staple. Now, one of the things you notice, many people can get overhead, right? Meaning in this position, right? They don't have that shoulder range of motion to have a good quality overhead press. And so being able to do it on an incline and tilting it back just a little bit is a great variation. Again, this is a staple. We can go heavy on this. We can, I would say, adapt to our anatomy so I can get full range of motion. Notice I'm not completely overhead, but I'm definitely feeling my shoulders here, keeping them neutral. I can control it down, really feeling them, get as much stretch as possible, driving back up. Again, this is not stressing, this is stressing out my muscle, but not my joint, because I've adjusted it for my anatomy. And again, you can play around with the angles of, I would say, your wrists, which position you feel the shoulders the most in. I tend to prefer that neutral position for most people. And great variation. Now we can use this anywhere in that 6 to 12 rep range, going heavier, going a little bit lighter, time and attention. This is still one of the staples to building your shoulders. So these are chest supported, I should say supported lateral raises, which you get a lot of times. Lateral raises are a great exercise to build those delts. But when you're standing, even if you're in that lean position, what happens is when you get tired, you tend to use body language, go into your low back, use momentum. Where here, I'm gonna have that support, lean forward a little bit, I have that stability. I'm gonna go into the scapular plane, so not gonna be in front, not to the side, about 30 degrees. And now I don't use that, I would say, that momentum, and it keeps me honest. It really keeps the tension in my delts. I try not to go all the way down, as I like to keep that tension in my delts at all times. And they are getting lit up right now, right? So again, everybody's got a little bit different anatomy, but we try to stay in the scapular plane because more stress on the muscle, less stress on the joint. This is an exercise that's best done somewhere in that 12 to 15 rep range. I like to do 3 to 4 sets of these when I put them into programs. So this is just another variation of a lateral raise with the cable behind the back because of where the line of tension is. And at the bottom, I'm feeling that stretch and I'm feeling that tension, right? A lot of times when we do our lateral raises, I lose tension here. So here I have tension, keeping everything nice and tight, driving it out, controlling. So at that end range, because it's pulling me, I'm still getting, again, tension at that bottom, trying to get that delt into a stretch position. And again, using cables, what it allows us to do is to get different angles of that line of pull to work the muscles in position that maybe with dumbbells we can't. So that supported lateral variation is excellent. Again, here we get something that we usually wouldn't with that variation, and we want to have well-rounded shoulders. And this is a great one to plug in to build those superhero shoulders. So this is the Frankle, one of the Frankle shoulder shockers. I've been doing these for a really long time. I love these. They're fun. When I say they're fun, they're about to toast your shoulders. So I'm gonna do everything for 5 reps. We may go somewhere in that 5 to 8 rep range, depending on the weight we're using or how we're progressing it. But watch me actually go through this because there's gonna be different variations. We go from a harder variation to easier, some mechanical drop set. But again, this is a great one to plug into your training. So we're gonna start with alternating. We go one's holding. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. Nice. So we go 5 and 5. Now I'm gonna go seesaw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we got regular. Now we're gonna go eccentric. So I'm gonna curl, bring them up, extend them, and control them down slowly. Driving up, punching out, control. So same thing, we're gonna go 5. Last one. And then I'm gonna finish off with partials, like think half reps, burning them out, more than 5 here, kind of till you can't go anymore. Whew. Wounds. Oh, wait. So I'd usually start with like 2 rounds of that. And again, we progress the reps too. I did 5 here. You could go to 6 reps, 7 reps, 8 reps. Again, becomes challenging. Really, really creates good stress on those shoulders, helps them grow. So this is a must. Fan of kettlebells, and this one is in here because I like using them. It's a different stimulus on that shoulder. These are called seesaw presses. Again, there's some prerequisite for you to be able to have that range of motion, but my shoulder's a little toasted, so we're gonna go lighter on these ones. But I'm gonna start with 1 up in seesaw. So as it's pulling down, I'm pulling 1 down, the other one's coming up. Right, so same time, there's constant tension. I'm really thinking about the pull here, right? So pull, automatically the other one's pushing. Pull, so it's not dropping down. I'm going at the same time, like a seesaw. Again, usually we're working in like that 8 to 10 rep range, especially we're trying to build muscle on this one. Nice and controlled, own the form. I'd rather that you slow down the tempo and go a little bit lighter at first, rather than arching into your low back and not having quality form. So seesaw presses, definitely a must to put it to your program. So use these exercises, whether it's you're doing a full-blown shoulder day, an upper push day, a full body workout, use some of these exercises. And like the bigger ones, obviously are gonna come at the beginning of the session when you're going heavier. The burners, more time and attention is gonna come a little bit later in the workout, most of the time. But plug them in, get those boulder shoulders, those superhero shoulders. And again, make sure you follow this channel if you want to look, feel, and perform more like an athlete without the nagging aches and pains.